Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Brian Colletto Show, streaming to my LinkedIn and YouTube. And if you're listening to this later on Apple Podcasts, that platform. And as a friendly reminder, this is not professional advice, so please seek professionals where necessary. So, little disclaimer, I'm going to try to keep this episode as short as possible. The internet in my area has been wobbly lately, so I want this all to be recorded as smoothly as possible. So, in the autism segment, much like I did 2 weeks ago, I'm going to remember somebody. So, rest in peace, Dr. Jason Arday. I did not know anything about him until I saw people posting about him. Again, didn't know his name, didn't interact with him through the internet, didn't know his name the same way I know Temple Grandin. But learning a little bit about what he's achieved or what he did achieve definitely is something to look up to. He was on the autism spectrum. He uh, he sorry he got a master's degree, got a PhD, and really made a name for himself living overseas in um, in London, or he was British. I know that, and he was a professor. And I'm not going to get into the controversies. I simply will choose to remember him as the man with autism who set out to achieve a lot, help others, teach others, and uh, live as good of a life as he possibly could. And he was pretty much exactly 4 years older than me. And I'm sorry that he's gone now. My deepest condolences to his family and friends and anyone who worked with him, had him as a teacher or professor. It is definitely a loss for the autism community. Um, I don't know if I personally have what it takes to achieve what he did. Um, my brain goes around in circles too much. I don't even have a college degree, um, but I can achieve a lot. So, and the there have been some other notable names who have died in recent days that I'll take a moment to recognize as well, including Tommy John, who is famous for the elbow ligament replacement surgery that a lot of athletes have now, mostly pitchers, but other non pitchers do have the surgery. And yeah, he went on to have a big career, and he was a Yankee, and me being a Yankees fan. So I already know of a name that I'll be thinking of for the next Old Timers Day next year. Well, hopefully next year. I won't. That's a story for another day about the collective bargaining agreement. Um, and also, since this is being recorded about 24 hours after it was reported, rest in peace also to Hayden Panettiere, who was my age. She would have turned 37 on Friday, August 21st. She was 5 days away from her birthday, and she lost her brother at a young age too. Jansen was only 28 when he died a few years ago from an enlarged heart. Um, but this goes to show you that, especially when we are feeling like we're just stuck in an average Joe life and not getting anywhere, or being involved in the usual family conflicts, that sometimes Hollywood is not everything. Sure, you can achieve a lot, but you got to be very careful and very prepared for things. And again, I'm not saying anything about what Hayden was or wasn't prepared for. But reading about what she had gone through, it does bear repeating some things so that people are aware and can learn from them. So that's what I have to say about that. As far as events from the past week, I really only had one event, but it was a decent one. I attended the Metuchen Street Fair this past Sunday, and while it wasn't as good as last year, I learned that there were 10 vendors that didn't show up because of concerns over the weather, and that is legitimate because not all vendors are from that specific town or right around that specific town. Some come from far away. So if they are concerned about the weather, they might not get in their cars to come. And so and I understand wanting to keep some of the spaces in the street open too, for other downtown businesses that were open, and for the residents and all of that. So all good in on my end. Um, it just it wasn't worth it for me to stay beyond an hour, uh, based on the fact that I was using a parking garage to park and all of that. But I still had a good time. So there you have it. That's all I've got for this week's episode of my show. Again, if you want to keep up with short stuff from me, Brian Colletto is basically the way to find me on all different social media platforms. And hopefully I'll be back with another show next week. And until then, I send you all love, light, blessings, and peace. Take care.